list was. So I don't know if this is post Ravana updated or not. Let's see. New. No, this is not post Ravana updated from him because he does not have Ravana in the new section, and Ratataskar and Nox are both still there, and they are no longer new. Right? So these are no longer new. So this is not post Ravana. So he has not updated this tier list for him. Okay. So this patch is going to be all entirely post Ravana, right? This entire tier list is what we're looking at after Ravana. Some characters got better, some characters got worse. So we're going to be looking at who's top pick characters, right? So, right off the bat, we're looking at the top. We know Geb isn't there anymore, right? We know she's not a top, or he's not a top pick. We know Neith is not a top pick right now. A lot of teams are falling out in favor with her, right? So Athena, still in the top, right? She can play multiple roles. She has super strong clear. Bellona, not quite. Close, but not quite. Sylvanas, S tier, S plus tier, that is. He's still super strong. He's got the lane clear. He's got the mid game. He's got the end game. He's got the CC. He's got heals. He's got it all, right? The man's got it figured out. Sylvanas has got it going on. Okay. Looking for Thor. Thor is definitely an S plus tier right now. His early game is super strong. His clear is super fast. His ganks are super strong. Everything about Thor right now is super strong. Particularly the jungle role thriving. He's always been thriving. Since this patch, though, going against Thors has been incredibly difficult. Just so hard. Just so hard. Okay. Where's Ao Kuang? No way Ao Kuang is S minus tier. Ao Kuang also S plus tier. Little bit different than the Thor. The Thor more so for his ganking potential. Ao Kuang is more for his hyper carry potential. The heal on his ultimate's crazy. The fact that it's 30% flat, you eat somebody and go into the air is crazy. Now that people are building him correctly and doing it mage style build and not auto attack build, I think you see people playing Ao Kuang so much better. And when you're getting smacked by dragons for like 800 when they're thrown at you, you're like, I think this god is a little bit strong, right? So that's a big thing. Also, Ratataskar. Ratataskar is also S+, right? These are your pinnacle gods that you're looking at to be picking right now. You have 2 supports, 2 jungler or 3 jungles, that is. Ratataskar and Ao Kuang actually both also work in the solo lane. Ratataskar's ganks are insane. His mobility is insane. His clear on jungle camps is not bad. His 1, which is his dash, is simultaneously the most frustrating skill in the game and one of the most effective skills in the game. So, for those who don't know, you dash. The dash, you get the blue acorn, you get the topaz. I believe it's topaz, right? That's the acorn, the blue one. Anyway, the blue acorn, which gives you like 50 power and 25% cooldown. And it makes your dash basically 3 times as wide. That has lightning bolts or whatever they call it. And you get procs on your dash. So, heavy hammer slow procs. Crits proc. All other stupid on-hit effects proc. And he can use Opal. It's called Opal. That's what the acorn is called. Thank you. And so you get all those dashes off, right? And as long as you don't hit the same character more than once with your main dash, right? You get to do it again. Until you dash, and 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 you get a pentakill. And it is so frustrating. And the worst part is this fight broke out of the Gold Fury, and you started rotating over from the Fire Giant, and you still beat the person who was at their purple buff trying to get into the fight. You beat him to the fight. Oh, this character makes me mad. I might have a little bias towards this character. This character frustrates me more than anything. And how do you get mad at this character? It's just a tiny little squirrel. It's the worst. It's so hard to get mad at this character. Anyway, not the point. That's neither here nor there, right? Looking at our other top characters here. Let's bada bing, bada boom. Let's move through this. Apollo. S tier. He's one of your main ADCs right now. Not S tier, though. He's not the main ADC, right? You're not picking him before other things, right? You got Fenrir probably here. Hades not here. Hunbats is here. Hunbats, you're not quite picking before your Thors and your Quangs and your Ratataskars, but you are picking him, right? Also, we got a sub. We're going to flex for that. I'm sunburned. I hope you know how bad this hurts my shoulders. Hope you appreciate that, but I appreciate you. So, Hunbats didn't lose any power. It's just a matter of he's not getting changed, but gods around him / metas are changing around him. But his ultimate will always be useful. That's never going to change ever. Isis right now, S to S plus tier, depending on really where you want to put her. I'm going to keep her an S tier for now. She is very strong, period. High CC, high damage, high survivability with the ultimate, high objective secure. I'm actually going to move her to S+, because of the fact that her ultimate is a fantastic Gold Fury securing method. Now that Hog kind of got nerfed, and people can't do the 25%, particularly towards the end of the game when you get the ultimate up. You throw down the ultimate, boom, you pop that, have your guy Hog at the same time, and you're doing a bajillion damage to the objective, right? That pretty much gives her a bonus to her kit now that she has objective securing type things going with her, right? On top of everything else. Like she needed that. Janus, I'll agree, he's S tier. Janus has really high clear for lane, which is incredibly important right now. All mages right now who do not have clear are out of the meta. Clear was important, but now clear is way more important. Right now, mids are hitting level 5 at 1 minute and 55 seconds if you can clear the wave fast. If you can't clear the wave quite that fast, it's about 2 minute mark, right? That's like the big difference. But if you can clear waves and be doing back harpies and mid harpies and mid and then back to your lane and then backs and mids and back to your lane, you're getting 5 just at 2 minutes. That's insane. 2 minutes? You know what that means? That means a big ulti level 5 gods, and that means high clear gods are super strong right now. Janus, high clear, not the world's biggest ulti, but he makes up for it with incredible utility. Medusa, I think she's the best hunter right now, honestly. Super strong clear, strong ability to fight in the lane, best team fight out of any hunter with her ultimate. Everything about her is incredibly strong. She doesn't have a particular weakness. Her passive is really strong, especially now that sprint is gone. It's even harder to box her because she's still moving just as fast sideways or whatever as you were with your sprint on. So whatever. That's pretty strong. Rama, he's not really on the same tier as Medusa, but he's close. We'll keep him here. He's not quite as strong as Medusa, but he's usually the go-to after Medusa, right? You're like, Medusa's down, I guess we're getting Rama. Rama still has the safe clear. He's not super dependent on mana because Astral Arrows aren't that bad in terms of mana consumption. You can still go Devourer's Gloves on Rama compared to Medusa has to go the Transcendence build. Both builds are fine. Rama's going to be able to outbox her early because he's going to get the lifesteal earlier. But Medusa still has the better team fight, right? So that's more of a playstyle type thing. Serket, Sobek, both up here in the S tier. Sobek, seeing a lot of play right now. These very aggressive supports that have strong clear are very strong right now, and that's why Ymir is also going to be up here in an overall tier list. Ymir has the best clear out of any support. And he's one of the very few supports right now that I've kind of been testing with not going hog. Go hog, please, on supports. Be getting your hog. It's the only god I'm testing trying without hog because he has his ultimate for secure for some objectives, right? And he has the clear early because of his passive. I'm trying to see if there's leeway with Ymir not getting hog. He's the only one that there would even be a possibility of there being leeway. And because you pretty much have to get Blink as your second active, if you have the first active slot opened up, it does make for a lot of possibilities, but it's got to be very careful. Serket, super strong. I don't think anybody is super, upset with that decision. She's pretty much S tier, right? She's S for Serket. I won't make that a joke again. So, looking at the rest of our gods, we got Bologna up here. These are the gods right there that are making up the main composition of your team, right? So you're banning / picking these S plus tiers, right? Athena banned every game. You're seeing Isis banned. You're seeing Rat banned. You're seeing Sylvanas banned, and then the first pick is Quang. Whatever, right? That's kind of what you're seeing going down right now in the competitive scene. Then, these are the gods that are getting picked up second, third, fourth, fifth picks, right? These are all the main parts of your god pool right now. Not Fenrir. Sorry, bud. Geb. He's a great go-to right now after the main two are down. Athena and Sylvanas are gone. All of a sudden, you're thinking about grabbing Geb, right? Geb is not going to win the laning phase. He has poor clear. He doesn't have the greatest jungle clear for the start of the game either. But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm going to get to the mid-game / towards the end game. I've got great initiation. I've got great peel. That's when he really thrives, especially if you're on another character that starts to fall off towards that point in the game. What are we looking at now? Alright, let's look at our S- tier. Let's get here. We might have more people that go up here, but I'm just trying to go through the list, and then if I see people that we gotta move them. Bastet, is she S- right now? She's not really S-. You're like an A+ at most. Kronos, you're not really an S- either. Poseidon's an S-. Poseidon actually is probably an S now. Post Ravana, I'm really thinking he's going to be an S tier type pick. Why? He's got super easy lane clear. You throw down a Whirlpool, you throw out a Tidal Surge, you can walk away from the wave, it's going to get cleared. You go do your back camps, you're getting tons of XP, you're getting it really fast, you're hitting level 5 at 2 minutes, and then you have super high kill potential. You have a Poseidon, Bologna. You have a Bologna jungle with Poseidon. Bologna ultis, because you hit Sheila's have level 5 at 2 minutes as well. The junglers are. Poseidon ultis right after. Not only that, now you got First Blood. You're on your way to almost level 6 now. You can go take their camps. Big money ultis level 5. Big money clear. That's what Poseidon has going for him. Alright. Who's in this S- type tier? What are we looking at? Who do we have around here? We got Apollo! Apollo is right here in this S- S type tier. Pretty okay clear. Really strong boxing potential because of his passive. Thrives off of getting Death's Toll. Good rotations. Overall strong. But doesn't have the same presence as a Medusa or a Rama, right? Not the same kind of thing. Alright, who else are we looking at? Loki is actually doing incredibly strong right now. So, I'm moving Loki up to S-. I'm not 100% sure, guys, if Loki is just this ranked character right now. So, Loki was supposed to be dead because of the Heartseeker nerf, and I was one of them. I thought Loki was going to be completely dead, but all people are doing now is buying Transcendence first item, and they're basically just realizing, hey, I am basically doing the same damage, except for I don't lose my stacks when I die. That's kind of what it's coming down to right now, and it's so annoying. I don't know if it's just this ranked mentality of Loki, and Loki's always been kind of a rank stomper, but I want to see him pulled out into competitive play at some point by somebody before I really make an official decision. But just from what I've seen so far in the patch, he is incredibly annoying and incredibly effective right now. Particularly because a lot of the strong gods right now are these assassin-y type characters like Ratataskar and Ao Kuang, and he just ultis them and kills them with his 3. So we'll see how that goes. Not 100% sure. We got Neith down here in this S- tier. Still has one of the best clears for ADC outside of maybe Medusa. Her and Medusa about the same on clear. Has the global ult for presence. Decently safe in lane because of her jump. Not a hyper carry though, and that's a problem. You don't have a hyper carry on your ADC. You have to make sure you get your hyper carry elsewhere. But that's just the team composition thing, and that comes down to a team's play style. If you like Neith in the ADC role, just make sure you have a hyper carry in your solo lane, or a hyper carry in your jungle or mid or whatever. Yeah, just make sure you get your hyper carry elsewhere because she's not going to carry you through the late game, but she can get a hyper carry fed at the early game because of her ultimate. So you have to make sure you play the composition that you're picking with her. That's the only thing. All right. We have Bastet over here. Let's move you guys out of the way for now. We have Bastet in A+. We have Kronos in A+. We got Fenrir in A+. These are all A+ type gods. All three of these can be played in the solo lane, actually. All fairly effective in the solo lane. All have counter matches that they do well against. Bastet Cat's still super annoying. Her bleed still super strong. Kronos, hyper carry for the end game. Fenrir, basically hyper carry for the early game. They all do better than their counterparts below them, but they aren't necessarily these picks that you're coming to for everything that you want in your game. These are more of like you're looking for your counter picks towards the end because you already have the majority of these characters picked right now. All right. Moving down. Agni is certainly not A tier. Agni is this S- tier. Strong clear, but not strong enough clear. He's not going to outclear Poseidon Isis, right? That's not going to happen. He's probably not going to outclear Janus. He does have a strong level 5. The problem is you're only going to have like one bomb, so it's not the strongest level 5. He does have a hyper carry mentality though, and hyper carry middles are very strong right now. So that's very important for him. It's going to be important for his kit right there. Anhur, I think, is completely balanced right now. He's basically like a Neith, but that doesn't have global presence, right? He's an early game focused hunter, kind of ability based focused, but he doesn't have the global ult to be getting other people fed throughout the map. Ares, A tier. He's probably perfectly balanced right now in terms of the overall meta. His chains with pen boots are super strong, but he still can't clear is the problem. He can't clear buff camps. He can't clear the wave. And so if you're going against a Ymir, Ymir can get to the wave at the same time as you if you didn't do back harpies and he did back harpies. So they're level 2 going to the lane. You're not level 2 yet. He's going to outclear you once you get to the wave, for 1, because he's a level above you, for 2, because you're an Ares. And then you're going to get pushed the whole time. Ymir's going to be able to rotate around the map and look for other back harpies, look for whatever with this jungler. You're stuck in the lane because you can't leave. Now you're not getting ahead. You couldn't kill him in lane because he had a more aggressive lane than you. You chained him, he froze you, then you got Neith rooted, and now you're dead on Ares, and now you're behind and now the game is over. It's hard to play Ares right now. He's a very difficult pick. Very hard to play right now. He's just very hard to play, honestly. Bacchus, unfortunately, still not A tier. He's probably a little bit below Ares in terms of that. Let's see here. Awilish, we're going to put her up in this A+ tier. A lot of people have problems playing Awilish. I feel like she's a hit or miss character for a lot of people. But her ability to spiral out of control is kind of crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever been hit by a feather step at 2.5 minutes into the game, but for some reason it does half your health. But if you don't die to that feather step at that point in the game and you somehow kill her back, her game is over. Awilish has no comeback potential. Honestly, it's kind of weird that she doesn't have any comeback potential. I feel like she would, but you can kind of turn her into a utility character with the 3 knock-up and then the ultimate pull, but it's not super reliable. But Feather Step does do a lot of damage, and if she had no skills besides Feather Step, she'd still probably be an okay character. So you know what I'm saying? Baka, he's totally balanced right now. He can be played at a competitive level. He has been played at a competitive level. You're not going to see him picked every game because he does have counters. He's not the easiest character to play anymore. You have to play him very smart. You have to be very careful about how you do team fights, but not bad. Kabrakan is an A tier probably as well. Not because of his support role, but because of his jungle solo lane capabilities. He had a big run in the jungle. People have been kind of stopping playing him in the jungle for now. But I do like him against some of these characters in the meta. I mean, you can wall off Ratataskar from dashing with the ultimate from an area. I mean, he can probably just dash away to a different area, but like he also does well against like Agni and Medusa and Ymir and these characters that don't have any way to jump, right? Even if they have a dash, you can't dash through his stuff. He's a situational pick, but not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I think I like him in the solo lane more than I like him in the jungle, but not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. Cupid, I'm sorry, baby. You're just not very good right now. I feel bad for Cupid because Cupid was like really bad, and then he came back. Remember when the season started, he kind of came back, and it was like him. He was like, yeah, and it was him and Xbalanque, and then he's kind of dead again, and it's like, oh no, Cupid, no, but he's kind of useless again. So, Huyi A tier. Huyi's got an amazing teamfight ultimate. His laning presence isn't so bad. His clear's okay. It's not the greatest. It's better than a character, say, like Xbalanque, and Xbalanque is also in this A tier. Xbalanque is super endgame focused, which the games are going pretty late now, but hunters are tending to fall behind if they don't have clear. Kind of because jungle camps are spawning so often, so you have to be able to go do jungle camps and then get to your lane and do stuff, and then rotate to mids and then get back to your lane. So you still need the clear on hunter, right? And if the other hunter out clears you and then they rotate first, then they have an extra person in the team fight, which is not good for, you know, your team fight situation, which is kind of why you need the clear. But Huyi's ultimate does make up for it. Xbalanque, same thing. Xbalanque doesn't even have to be in the fight to pop up your ultimate to give your team incredible positioning. So, Kukulkan, I'm sorry. For all of you Kukulkan players out there, let me just say, stop playing Kukulkan in my ranked games. I love you guys, and I know some of you guys are great Kukulkan players, but even the best Kukulkan players miss their ultimate. And do you know what happens when you miss your Kukulkan ultimate in a team fight? The answer is you lose. You lose the team fight. It's a very straightforward thought process for winning team fights with Kukulkan. Did you hit the ultimate? Yes, you won the team fight. Did you miss the ultimate? You lost the team fight. It's that simple, and it's not a reliable skill. They can jump away from it. They can Aegis it. They can do whatever to it. Sorry. That was my little, rant for that because Kukulkan's so annoying. Sorry, Kumba, you suck. Nemesis A tier right now. Ultimate still good against tanky characters. Hasn't seen any major changes. Moving Neja up to this A plus tier. That change to his 2, giving him the heal, was actually a really big deal. 25% heal on your 2, not that difficult to get that heal up. In the middle of a fight, somebody thinks they're going to kill you, and then you pop it, and all of a sudden you're back at like 40% health when you were at 15%. That's a big deal, and you can be used to bait people. You can use it to continue fight to finish people off. It's a strong skill. It's a strong skill. People underestimate that skill by a lot. Nuwa A tier. Very few people can play Nuwa, but when she is played correctly, you kind of just go, wow, that was pretty good. That was not bad. That was a lot of damage, and you rooted somebody, and you stunned all of them, and you're taking the tower with your minions. That's incredibly useful. She's more of a utility-based mid, which is kind of falling out of the meta a little bit with this hyper carry high clear thing that's coming in, but still not bad. Osiris, certainly up here in S tier right now. He is, I don't know if you guys have been facing any Osiris's yet, but woo! He be popping right now. He be going bop, 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 poof. He be getting heavy hammer, and you be getting one, and then you be getting two, and you be slowed for days, for all of your slows, forever and ever. He's actually really strong in the jungle right now. His ganks are pretty strong. His solo lane is plenty fine right now. man, he is strong right now, and it is so annoying. He's back to kind of being the broken god of the afterlife, eh? I mean, that's kind of what he's doing. Odin A tier. He is totally balanced. High burst damage, decent crowd control, an ultimate that's on a super low cooldown that does really well against healing gods. He's not a character that you're first picking, but he is a character that you're last picking because they have 4 characters that don't have a jump. They have Agni, Medusa, Sobek, whatever, right? They've got all these people that can't get out. Maybe they have a Ra. He's an immediate counter to Ra. Ra gets shut down. His healing doesn't work. He can't live in the ultimate. He dies. Stuff like that. Crazy. Ra's doing okay right now. Ra's amount of super high lane clear is really working well with him right now. He's been falling out of the meta a lot in NA. He's been kind of sticking around in Europe for a bit as far as the competitive scene goes. But being able to beam and then heal the wave and go rotate with your passive speed buff that you just got to do bat camps, and then coming back and ulting the wave to get the clear to do the mid camps. I mean, pretty strong with his amount of clear right now. That's really the big thing that's bringing him into this, is the amount of just sheer clear he has. Kind of utility based, but you can build him damage. It's just kind of risky to build him damage like that, but doing pretty well right now. Tier still not impressing me. Ullr's fine right now. Ullr's got great box potential. I kind of think of Ullr like I think of Huyi, which is like their 1v1 is really strong. Huyi's got a bigger team fight than Ullr, but Ullr has a better 1v1 in my opinion than Huyi. You hit the axe on Ullr and you get your full combo off, and any hunter in the game is at like 30% health. You do it one more time and they're dead. Vulcan, I have not honestly seen anybody play. I'm going to be real here. Since this patch, I have not seen anybody play Vulcan. And I just assumed they would because of his ultimate for securing objectives. I'm going to keep him in A tier because I haven't seen anybody be playing him. I feel like if you time it right, his ultimate is going to be great objective secure. It's going to be weird though because you have to have the distance from it to be doing that for the big damage. What if they reset it? What if it's too early, too late? It's going to be hard to time, but I feel like the concept is there. So until I see somebody not be able to do it or be able to do it, it's hard to like put him anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you, Jay Tedder, for the sub. I appreciate it. Flex for you, and my shoulders are killing me. It hurts really good. Thank you so much. Moving onward, we have Sun Wukong. This patch did not favor Sun Wukong right now, guys. He's just kind of feeling the hurt right now. I'll keep him in this A- tier. Afro, Guan, all feeling the hurt right now. They're not being used at all. Freya is super strong right now. Moving Freya up to S-. Pen Boots and Freya just go together. When you get Pen Boots and Freya together, you're just like, mwah, it's so beautiful. Mwah, mwah. I get the Pen Boots and I get the Fatalis and I pop you and you dead. And I pop my ultimate and then everybody dead. She is super strong right now. If you haven't played against a Freya yet, you're lucky because, man, Pen Boots on Freya is so annoying, man. Nobody wants early Pen Freya. God, it hurts. Thanatos doing fine right now. Probably up in A tier. The game is a bit early game focused. So you want to make sure that you get ahead early, but he's not doing so bad in the current meta. Not the greatest because his late game's, still kind of stinky, but other than that, not too bad. Scylla in this A tier. Her clear sucks, but she makes up for it with just straight end game power. Pen Boot's actually not so bad on Scylla. Helps you get your damage off earlier, particularly from your ultimate, which has huge starting base damage. Not so bad for her right now. Hercules A tier. Hades A tier. All of these gods are totally viable in the solo lane right now. I know Hercules has had a bug with this too, where it doesn't always like pull the creeps / do damage, which is weird. I don't know if that's fixed yet, but that's it's still something that's been happening. So pay attention to that. Hades, obviously one of the safest solo laners in the entire game. Even if you don't do anything, you're probably not going to lose the lane because you can just continually sustain to full. Particularly since blue buff is now even better. You're never out of mana because you always have blue buff. Chang'e. Yeah, Chang'e's not very strong right now. Neither is Vamana. Neither of them are doing anything in particular. Sprint nerf was actually really big for Vamana. I mean, sprint on Vamana was so important in order to get kills going. You can still go Frostbound, Fatalis, but like, who wants to get both of those items on a solo lane? Right? Zhong Kui right now, doing real good. Putting my man up here at A+. Zhong Kui doing some work right now. Pen boots on Zhong Kui. That level 5 ultimate, be it popping you with ghosts. You got ghosts on your face. You're like, I got a ghost around me. You're popping your hog trying to kill the ghost. You realize you can't kill the ghost. They're going to kill you. It's a bad deal. Zhong Kui got great sustain. Strong level 5. Strong clear. My man's in the meta right now. He is back in town. Nox right here in this A tier. She is super hit or miss. She's kind of reminding me of Kukulkan, but it's not hit or miss on her ultimate ability. It's hit or miss on your 2/root combo. If you hit the 2 root, that person's dead. They're rooted in place while silenced. Done. Dunsky. You're dead. Right? It's particularly early game. It's bad. You miss it, well, look at that, you threw. But her ultimate is still super strong. The reduction in damage, all super cool. Alpoash right there with her. Everybody thought Alpoash was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Unfortunately, in competitive play / conquest, he didn't end up being as strong as really people thought they were. He's easy to focus down. He's super countered by Heavenly Agility, which is really in the meta right now. Now that Sprint's gone for Hunters, a lot of them are just picking up Heavenly Agility. Wingblade does very well against him. Any character that can avoid slows does really well against him. Kabrakan in particular, he ultis Alpoash. You can't get out because you don't have any getaway skills. He uses his 1, so he's not slowed by your ultimate. Now you're stunned, now you're 2'd, now you're bopped, now you're dead. That's kind of how that situation goes. Bacchus down here in this B+ tier. Unfortunately, he has not come back. I made sure to try him out. We thought he was going to come back, us supports did, because of these changes. It did not make him come back. His clear is still like worse than Ares. He doesn't really get presence in around the lane. He doesn't get presence around the map. His endgame is still so strong if you can make it there, just because of how good Drunk is as a skill. But it's just so hard to make it there as Bacchus, man. It's so hard to get yourself out of the laning phase, even if the laning phase is short. It's just so hard. Kumba as well, B+ tier. The problem with Kumba, for me, has always been 2 things. 1, his lane clear is his getaway skill. That's a problem. When your lane clear is also your getaway skill, that puts you in a really awkward predicament. If you're going against somebody like a Ymir, you use your bop on the wave to clear. Now you get frozen. Now you get slowed. Now Neith uses her lane clear. You also have the bop sitting inside the wave. So Neith hits the entire wave with her root while also simultaneously hitting you. The Ymir hit the archers at the same time because he did his slow. So the archers are all completely dead. Your getaway skill is down. You're still slowed. And now you have no way to get out. And now you're dead. Like, that's just not... It's just a bad situation. The second thing being that he has too much CC that's working against himself. He needs a harder form of CC. I feel like the root's okay, the ultimate's good, the mez is okay. He has like all these okay things going against him, but like, would you rather have the Kuma mez or a Geb knockup in the middle of a team fight? Probably the Geb knockup, because it's a hard CC that you know exactly what's going to happen, that you can't be getting out of. You need reliable hard CC. Kali is a problem. We're going to put Kali up in this A+ tier as well. How do we fit her in? We're gonna Zhong Kui, and then you're gonna boop. Kali right here in this S+ tier. I mean S+ tier, A+ tier. Kinsai's got a little bit of a price reduction. which helped out Kali. There's a lot more farmer on the map, so junglers get higher levels faster. I don't know if you guys have gone against Kalis that are not ganking lanes yet, but when you have a Kali hitting level 20 at 19 minutes into the game, it's pretty quick how fast she turns on. Like, all games at this point are going decently long, and when the jungle's hitting level 20 prior to 20 minutes, it's kind of an issue. Kind of an issue. It's pretty gross. Endgame Kali is still the worst thing to deal with in the entire world. So, I wish you guys luck for all the Kalis that end up in your games. I wish you luck. So, down here, what do we got? Chalk, he isn't quite B. He's B+. His clear is good. The problem with Chalk is his endgame is poo-poo. But he's still a super safe clear. He does well with blue buff over in the solo lane. He even kind of works as support. It's not the worst case scenario of all time, but not bad. Not bad. AMC, gotta put him up in this A- tier. He's not doing so bad with a Fatalis in his build. He has the built-in movement speed from Hives. Plus, if you get Fatalis, you already have high base damage. You get the attack speed. Like, he's not doing awful. An extra active on him since you're not getting sprint. But, I mean, he has the Hives plus Fatalis, which is like a lot of movement, which is kind of like having a sprint. So you get like a blink on him, which makes him pretty safe. Plus beads or something. Not bad. Not bad. Not hating it. Not hating it. Anubis has strong clear. He's still impossible because he's basically an even more gankable Opwash. So you realistically in a competitive setting it's never gonna work. But like you can burn down that Gold Fury really fast for that 150 gold early game. Which a lot of people are like, oh, who cares? But I mean like that's a sentry ward for everybody across the map. That's 5 sentry wards of vision that can counter 5 of their wards, which you're going to get 50 gold back per ward anyway. Not the worst case scenario. Arachne, not digging her right now. She's not doing so hot. Artemis hasn't been doing hot since like the second patch of the game ever. Hebo will never come back because he was way too strong for way too long. He ain't never coming back. Hell ain't never coming back either because she starts off with like 8 hit points. And she has incredible mana dependence, and she will always get invaded level 1, and she will never ever get her blue buff because her level 1 is so bad. Let's see over here. We got Kukulkan over here in A-. Like I said, you hit the ultimate, you probably won the team fight. You missed the ultimate, you probably lost. So, tier down here in B tier. You can't play him as support. His clear is not good enough for the jungle. His solo lane potential is okay. But okay characters aren't winning games right now. Cupid is very okay. Can you get a kill with him early? Sure. You can get kills with him. But your late game sucks. Your mid game's okay. Your team fight's okay. What really counters Cupid? Oh, Heavenly Agility. Why? Because you can get out of his ultimate. Oh, wait. Who's getting Heavenly Agility? Literally everybody right now. Literally everyone in the game. Your team has 5 Heavenly Agilities right now. I don't know why it's happening, but it's just happening across the board. Until your ultimate is completely useless. Mercury is doing okay. He's basically a riskier version of Kali. So, I mean, he's not as good as Kali, but he's not the worst ever, you know? And our man Zeus is in a weird spot. Just a weird spot. He actually does a lot of damage. We'll put him over in this B+ tier as well. He does a lot of damage, but he's not like the saving grace of your game. Pretty easy to gank, not as easy to gank as some other people, but he doesn't like do as much objective damage as Anubis. You know, give or take, he's kind of alright. Not the worst thing to ever happen to anything, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We got Fatalis up here in SS tier because Fatalis OP, right? OP. OP. But that's kind of what we're looking at here for the tier list. This is kind of your generic, general list going on here. This is post Ravana, like I said, of course, looking at this tier list. Of course, shout out to DM Brandon and the Juice community for providing this wonderful tier list for visual representation of how gods are doing right now. Reminder, of course, that this list is also for Conquest. This is not a general list for any other game type. Different game types bring out different strengths in gods. A big one being Apwash. Apwash is pretty known for being one of the best characters in pretty much every game mode that's not Conquest. But as far as Conquest goes, he's pretty easily counterable. Also, thank you, Falcon Punch, for the sub. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much. It still hurts. I'm still sunburned. Has not gone away. But I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. Sorry if it's not exactly what you were thinking was going to happen, but this is kind of how this meta is laying out so far. This, of course, can be changed the more we get into this meta. We're still fairly new into the meta. We haven't done anything super crazy with this. There haven't been, really any competitive games yet. There hasn't been a lot of teams trying out a lot of different things, seeing which team comes out on top with their meta. So we need to just make sure we're staying on top of this, seeing which characters are coming in and out of the meta and how they're being used for which purposes, what even roles they're being played in. God to be able to switch roles during different metas and see different thriving in different purpose with their skills. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now. So back to esports.